Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Gemini, we're going to try to understand you a little more clearly this week. I'm going to see who you really are, the mask that you wear, or how people perceive you, whether that's correct or incorrect. Why you hide your true self, or why that's hidden from people. How this affects your relationships. Advice for you and outcome should you follow the advice. So I've done this reading many different times before. I think it's always kind of fun to do. I'm not going to do it where you see me shuffling the cards out from above you, because this is one of those readings where I think it's kind of good to peel it back like layers of an onion. So we're just going to do kind of one card at a time. Old style. Yeah, and then at the very end, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to go into the Alki deck, and we're going to pull out a card to see if that, how that is affecting this reading. Like what is it? I'm getting good. It's early in the morning. You're my first reading. You're actually my first conversation for the day. So anyways, we'll talk about that when we get to it. How's that? So I'm going to start with the Energy Oracle deck, Gemini. I'm going to see who you really are, the mask you hide behind, why ye hide ye true self, how this affects your relationships, advice for you, and outcome should you follow the advice. All right. Gemini. You might see light dancing, on the wall. There's a lot of, it rained last night, so everything on the deck is super reflective, and the light is shining through the trees. There was a storm warning and a carrying connection energy there. Oh, who you really are. Archangel. You're an archangel. Look at you. 4th chakra. So you are open heart space. You are a warm heart space. You are opening your heart space. You are opening your heart chakra. The mask you're hiding behind. The angel of balance, keeping things balanced here. Interesting how you're coming up like all this angelic energy. So yeah, it's kind of beautiful. I want to say you look like you're waiting patiently. So the way this angel is just really focused on, I'm just seeing it as an hourglass, sort of hearing the hands of time. So yeah, the pyramids, kind of thinking about historical speaking and time, and then the crescent moon, the cycles. So definitely, yeah, like you're biding your time for something. So that's interesting. I wonder if people are kind of perceiving you as waiting for something in particular. You're not necessarily hiding who you are, or they're not necessarily perceiving you incorrectly, to be quite honest. These energies could be completely different things here, but yeah. So, okay. So why you hide your true self, if that is even being hidden? Blossoming in abundance. I do feel like something is starting to grow within you with your heart chakra, with the heart chakra being the card that is actually representing you. So there's some sort of, maybe your heart chakra has been closed off. It's opening right now. That's how you're being represented. If it's not something that was closed off in the more recent past and is just opening now, I feel like it's being activated by something in particular. And this is starting, there's something new kind of happening in your life, perhaps. It's just sort of the beginnings of it. So, you know, people may just be seeing you waiting for something when in fact, you might even be noticing energetic shifts here. So, you know what, something is starting to grow within me, your heart. How this affects your relationships. Financial constraints. So that's interesting. How it affects your relationships, financial constraints. There is some sort of constraint in your relationships. Maybe you are sort of focused more on things that are right in front of you, as opposed to, like, there's no feeling of relationships or anything in this card. I mean, there are no tarot cards to support it, right? This is why I like to kind of peel this back layer by layer. So you might be kind of pulling away from relationships to work on your heart chakra right now as well. So there might be some people feeling a little bit, might be feeling that you're sort of constrained in how you're sharing your energy with them and other people, there might be some sort of financial situation that's going on between you and someone else as well. That's part of a personal relationship. Relationships. How does it affect? It could affect your relationship with money somehow, which is kind of funny. I mean, maybe you're putting money and the pursuit of wealth or abundance sort of on hold for something that's more in the heart chakra area. Advice for you: door to spirit. See where the universe is taking you. See where the universe. That's easy enough. See where the universe is taking you. Some doors might be opening here. These doors could be opportunities that are sort of part of your fate. The door is open. It's kind of your destiny. How do you carve this destiny? Do you choose to walk in it? What do you do here? So there might be some options here, or at least a particular option. I'm actually seeing somebody who's walking through like a maze. And there's only one right door to walk through, and all the other doors are locked. So I feel like there's some sort of door that's opening for you. That'll be your opportunity there. Don't stop exercising and don't stop exercising. Maybe you're exercising. Don't stop exercising your options though. I feel like trying things, because even if there's blocks, you're coming close to the door that you're supposed to open here. None of the other doors are meant for you. This one is. So your advice is to keep opening, keep attempting at least, in a way that I want to say feels balanced, because the heart chakra and even people perceiving you as balanced, you might even be allowing maybe like your life to come into balance through some sort of more divine timing also. There's a door here that you're meant to try to open. It might even blow open for you. I don't know. Like it might seem like if things have been difficult to move forward with the financial constraint as well, it might just seem like a door suddenly blows open. There you go. Walk it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Outcome if you follow the advice. Oh, I am anxiety. Well, there's some Gemini energy, because that's like the 9 of Swords. Thinking, a lot to think about. What do you have? Man holding a heart and the 5th chakra. This is like expressing. This is interesting. This is wanting to sort of, this heart chakra energy, right? I mean, with man holding a heart, it's very active energy. So wanting to actively express the feelings that you have within yourself. Oh, we need tarot, Gemini. Wanting to actively express who you really are too, because that's the heart chakra right now. Wanting to express it. Maybe you're anxious. The outcome would be anxious. Maybe there's some sort of opportunity for you to express yourself in the future. That's interesting. The Queen of Wands has flipped out as I'm getting ready to add cards to the 4th chakra. So who you really are, you're the Queen of Wands, but you have boundaries here. She's not letting that person, well, there's 4 cards that are, yeah, okay. The Queen of Wands, the 6 of Cups, the 4 of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. I want to say you're healing your boundaries. You're healing your boundaries, and that's opening up your heart chakra. That actually makes a lot of sense. Healing your boundaries, sort of like, it's like healing your boundaries, which is opening up your heart chakra. And then this is also affecting your own kind of inner child, your sense of playfulness, which is producing a sort of a new cycle for you moving forward. Here, you have the Queen of Wands, the 6 of Cups, the 4 of Swords, and the Wheel. It's interesting. There's definitely maybe energetic work going on here. Definitely everything being felt on a very energetic level. I think you're also, okay, there's something about you that's sort of like magnetic. Something magnetic. Because the Queen of Wands is seen as very like, very attractive, very, yeah. something that people can be drawn to. And right, like she's reaching her hand out and stopping this person from putting it in the fire. I want to say, like, you don't want to get yourself burned with me, but that has to do with boundaries too. But there's a whole area here about healing that, and you might be healing it because you've created some boundaries with people, like not to touch your fire. Don't touch my fire right now. I got it burning just the way I want it. Don't poke it. But then it's almost as if by those boundaries, it opens your heart chakra. And this fun, the Six of Cups is just so much, just like a playfulness, just for the sake of it. I mean, you know, when you sit down and you have a little pretend tea party with kids, it's just, you know, playfulness just for the sake of it. And the Four of Swords, very healing, healing the mind, creating a new cycle in and of that. Why you have anxiety down here, I don't know. So, like, they're great, Cindy. Did all this work and now I'm going to be anxious. I don't know. Or maybe you're just going to be overthinking some opportunity. But let's see. We will get there. The mask you're hiding behind is the Angel of Balance. Maybe you look like you got all your shit together, right? But it's only partially together. You're working on it. You're working on getting your shit together. Angel of Balance. The Eight of Cups. The Page of Wands. The Six of Wands. There's kind of a sense with this, like kind of how people perceive you as someone that, I'm going to be honest, they haven't heard from. Wow. That's interesting because, you know, how does it affect your relationships? You have the financial constraints, so maybe that makes sense. Like, it's just like a lack. It's a feeling of like there's not anything really growing in your relationships, or at least in one in particular. You know, it doesn't have to be everybody in your life, but there's at least one here. But it's funny because maybe you could be perceived by people right now as someone that they haven't heard from in a while, or they're not really getting much from you or out of you. But it's almost as if, I want to say, because you're climbing your own sort of ladder to success, but that ladder to success seems to have something to do more with, you know, personal growth, the healing for yourself. You're dealing with your own salamanders here. These salamanders in this deck always seem to represent sort of awkward feelings or energies, or feeling a little bit overwhelmed by the things going on. And then, like, they've all kind of, they're not on her anymore. She's climbing up to the Six of Wands, but there's one more at the top of that, sort of challenging her to put her hand out. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe you're feeling challenged to put your hand out. People perceive you as this. Okay, that's interesting. Because, right, this person's trying to put their hand out and she's stopping them from putting their hand out. I do want to kind of say there's a feeling here of somebody who maybe it's your personality or in general, or maybe it has to do with a cycle that you've been going through. But there's something here about not wanting anyone to help you, maybe. Being able to deal with things on your own. Conquer sort of your own demons on your own. Maybe even achieve some sort of success here in your life in different areas. But the balance for you is being able to do this. But when your heart chakra is opening, that's becoming receptive. So there is a change, right? And the wheel is here to kind of point out this change. So maybe you are going from a cycle here where you haven't wanted, you know, people kind of reaching out their hand, or it could be in a particular area of your life, wanting to be able to look after it on your own. People perceive this, and this is correct. But because the heart chakra, you're being represented by this fourth chakra, I want to say you have Archangel Raphael working with you, if you're kind of into that. I do want to say that there are energies working with you to open your heart chakra, and this is making you more receptive. It is changing a cycle, and perhaps this is the anxiety, because when the door opens, that's an opportunity, and that's kind of like to receive that, right? To be receptive, and then is to think about that. Blossoming abundance. Why you hide your true self? You know, maybe you're starting to see the little sprouts of success and whatever it is that you've been trying to do on your own here. The Queen of Swords. Oh, there you are. The Two of Wands. And the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm going to be honest, like with these cards, why you hide your true self is because your energy is kind of gaining momentum here. You're starting to see things clearly for yourself. So maybe part of the idea of like, don't put your hand in my fire is, you know, outside energies could really taint what it is that you need to try to start to see clearly for yourself. Seeing something clearly, understanding exactly what it is that you want checked off on this list. And the Two of Wands is trying to project our futures, imagining, hoping, seeing, visioning what is out there for us. But the Five of Pentacles coming in next, right? Like this is like spring and this is winter. So it's sort of coming out of this winter period, this period of being disconnected maybe from things that you've said, like don't touch, don't touch, don't get your, yeah, because there, you know, I've done some readings where it just feels like for some of the other signs, there's been periods here where there's just been too many chefs in the kitchen is how I've described it. And it's just like, if there's too many chefs in the kitchen, the finished product is going to end up tasting like shit, because they all have their own idea about how much garlic should go in, or how much salt, or how much seasoning, or how long it should simmer, or should it be al dente, or like, you know, I mean, but you've taken on this different approach where it looks like to me, there are no other chefs in the kitchen. So it's giving you a better idea of what you're producing for yourself moving forward. But I will say that you're becoming receptive. So you're kind of being asked to see this opportunity that comes towards you. How this affects your relationships, right? You have the financial constraints. It could make your energy, it could be difficult for people to invest in you, spend time with you, grow with you, you know, but you're doing kind of something here on your own. The Lovers, well, that's interesting. It's definitely talking about you. It's your card. The High Priestess and the Moon. Okay, you leave people wanting. They don't know what you're doing. There is. I mean, they don't know what you're doing. Don't know what you're up to. I said, like, the mask you're hide behind, or at least how people perceive, is that you're someone they haven't seen in a while, they haven't heard from in a while. And I want to honestly say, though, I feel like because of this energy, it's like trying to kind of overcome your own demons. Maybe even some sort of demons that you've collected along the way, that because it seems so important that you do this for you, that maybe you become, and I'm just using the word demonized, like tainted by outside energies that are not yours, that don't represent your higher good. Trying to kind of like get those off. So honestly, it's just, I don't want to say that it's a negative really. It's just kind of the perception, or the honest outcome when you kind of pull away from people and you're taking time for yourself to look after things that you know you need to do. I need to do this for myself. Nobody else is responsible for this except me. It's kind of how I'm reading that. But yeah, so there definitely is, but you know, it's really funny. I feel like people want to do stuff with you. People or someone. Look at this. It's just interesting, right? Because this is a couple, and it's a couple, and they're like looking at a house that's for sale. So to me, that's sort of like the ideas of how to grow here, where to start to create a foundation in a relationship, or what's the next step in a relationship. You know, and even just, are these guys out with a realtor, or are they just going for a walk and go, oh, honey, look at that house. Could you imagine? Like, I don't know. It's just, and it's funny because then this dreamy energy comes in with the High Priestess and the moon is very highlighted in both cards. So physically, I want to say there's no connection. Emotionally and energetically, there is connection trying to be created with you. I want to say there just could very well be. Because these two are connecting in this card. Maybe this is part of the heart chakra energy. I mean, it also, to me, how this affects your relationships. Again, I want to say there is no big investment in personal relationships right now. But there is a personal relationship between you and your inner soul, your higher self, and angels. There's a lot of angel energy here. You got Archangel Gabriel, you've got an angel of balance, you got the door to spirit, you got Archangel Raphael. The door to spirit. There's the Nine of Swords. What is this? You don't want, it's like you're working, it's funny, right? Like your advice. You're working with angelic energy is all around you, but then it's, so the angelic energy says, okay, look. And it's, no, I don't want to hear that. Why? What the hell? Let me see. The Nine of Swords, the Sun, the Chariot. It seems good. Why are you anxious? Why are you anxious? The Sun and the Chariot, like you're moving towards great times here. Maybe you don't feel mentally ready for it. I don't know. Oh, I was doing this reading. I thought, I don't even need to clarify anything. It's so clear, but boom. What is going on here? Okay, now I want to see the anxiety. The outcome. What are you thinking? There could even be, like maybe Spirit is telling you the advice. You're going to come to some sort of a point in time here where the universe is showing you a direction and it might not make sense to you. And you're thinking, this is taking me away from the real goals and the real work, the reason I've been doing this work on myself or what's been going on here. There could be that. I mean, right? Because the Chariot comes after the Sun. You don't want to hear this. Don't tell me this. Is this what you're going to tell me? So let's see. The Queen of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles. And the King of Wands. Okay, what I feel like with these cards here, there could be something going on. Like you could have some anxiety here about, like there's some sort of weird mismatch. There's the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. That makes a lot of sense. But then the King of Wands is there. So I don't know if this is something that you need to resolve with someone. Or it could be. There could be something here to do with kids. Or there could be some sort of plan that you are starting to kind of create for yourself. But there's an energy or an individual that doesn't feel like it lines up to what your plans are. So we'll see. The Five of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles. We need a new plan here. We can't sit on the couch. We can't. We can't sit on the couch. I've the last year or two, I've spent a lot more time with my my Leo girlfriend, and she was originally born in South Africa, and so you can't sit on the couch and by yourself and be depressed and eating pizza. You can't do that. Well, that's what you're saying here. You got the Seven of Pentacles. You need a better plan. I like this, actually, going from eating the pizza, the junk food, to finding an apple. It's like kind of a healthier choice. It is about making a healthier choice, making healthier choices in life and just in a lot of things. The world. All right, so I got to cut some shit out here with the Five of Swords. Complete a cycle. I've got to cut some shit out. I really don't know where the next start is. It's funny. This is the same girl. The Two of Swords into the Ten of Swords. Yeah, the Ten of Swords. Releasing some stuff here. You got to release some stuff. If you're having difficulty finding a path forward, I want to tell you the answer is fully releasing some things here. Yeah, I do need to clarify at the bottom. What the HE double hockey sticks? I saw that. I'm sure I did. It was the Nine of Swords. It certainly looked like it. That was freaky. Like it was flipped up. How did it not there? I saw it. It was flipped up when I shuffled. But I don't see it now. That is unbelievably weird. That is crazy. I feel like I just lost my eyes. I had a vision. No, there it is. There it is. I did see it. How weird is that? The Nine of Swords is already flipped up in the deck for you. I'm going to flip it back down. Put it in there. You have it 3 times. What in God's name is the universe trying to tell you and you don't want to hear? See. Okay, you know what it might feel like? Okay, I'm just going to say this. Because this card feels like a sudden onslaught of a lot of information. And I just heard a lot of chefs in the kitchen all of a sudden. Okay. So there could be a lot of, right? All of a sudden there's all this energy. There's all this energy. Yes. You've been keeping energy at bay here. And all of a sudden you feel overwhelmed by the enormity of everyone else's energy. Okay. So the anxiety here could be the universe trying to get you back into sharing your energy more, allowing more chefs into the kitchen. Are you coming into a kitchen situation? And the kitchen situation just represents life, right? And then the chefs represent all the people that have their own ideas about creating things, okay? We just have to clarify that for people who are new at, metaphors and such. There's something here about this King of Wands really sticks out. And everybody's paying attention. It's like very... Okay, so here's the thing. Because you're moving into a more receptive energy, which is a feminine energy, this is very active, this King of Wands, right? And he would probably be described as one of the most active kings in the deck. There's a little bit of stepping back and letting somebody else lead here, I feel like. But let's see how that goes. The Nine of Swords. The Six of Cups and the Ten of Wands. Oh, this is like, okay, you don't want to hear that there's somebody from your past that's a burden. I don't know. Or somebody has a burden. All right, let me see this. Where's this go? The Sun. Temperance. Okay. Temperance and the King of Wands. Look at this. It's okay. You're okay. You've been doing a lot of work here. You've been doing a lot of work on yourself. opening up your heart chakra. There's two things that I see here. I want to say either you want to continue to be in this receptive energy and the universe is kind of pushing you into a more active energy, or you've been in this receptive energy and you really want to come out of it, but you're sort of being tempered to keep it low key for a bit longer. Actually, as the clarifiers come out, that feels more strong here. That message feels more strong. I want to say that I feel like the King of Wands might be the energy that you really want to become here, which kind of, right? It's sort of like two versions of the same thing, but one is more receptive and internalized. It's kind of like writing the recipe. This is like writing the recipe and focusing on it, and maybe even writing the recipe, watching the plants grow, and then this is taking all the ingredients, doing something with it, being very active. You have to, there's something here, you have to wait on the sun. You have to wait on the sun. Temperance and the King of Wands. Like you have to temper yourself. It's almost like you're becoming ready to do something, but you've got to, the Chariot. The Five of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. There's some sort of correction that needs to be made here. I want to say, it kind of feels like to me, you know, I described somebody going through a maze. All the doors are locked. There's only one that's going to open here. And you open it, but you realize it's a slight detour. It's a slight detour. We're still doing a little bit of work on that. The other door, but this is going to get you there, but it's a slight detour because something has to be corrected here. The Five of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. That's interesting. Now I'm curious about the financial constraint. Financial constraint. You know, this is really funny too. I mean, this could be something like if you were literally looking for like a home to buy, there could be something here where, I mean, even with the financial constraint, like possibly maybe you can't afford to do it on yourself, or if you're looking for a new place to rent or lease or something like that, that you'll do this with someone else. Because it's, right, this chariot is taking you to where it's like financial constraint, the Five of Pentacles, you don't have enough, to the Six, where there is enough. With the door to Spirit, let's look at that. The door to Spirit. What's this door that opens? Okay, what's the door that opens? The Page of Cups. Okay, and the Ten of Swords. Honestly, this is something that you have a hope on doing, but you can't do it the way you want to. I'm just going to tell you. That's why we got the Nine of Swords peeking out everywhere. There's a sense of really, like, a real strong self-independence here. The universe is asking you to step it down a bit. The anxiety. The Emperor and the Six of Wands. I'm not kidding. Okay, this is almost like you're in the kitchen. You've been doing your own recipes. You kind of, but it's literally like whatever this energy is in the future, you're the sous chef. Like, you're the sous chef. There's success here with an Emperor, or this is going to lead to your success and you will come out like an Emperor, but it's not exactly the path that the way you thought you would get. The path to get to your final outcome is different than what you figured it would be. So the King of Wands. The Knight of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. Yeah, I'm honestly, okay, let's look at the financial constraints, because it looks like something like that. How does this affect your relationships? The King of Cups. I want to say, you know what? Whatever this is, though, the relationships are not built on money. They're not built on, you know, superficial or artificial things that could be superficially, artificially qualified as having value. I mean, this is emotion. This is emotions here. This is built on emotions, on deep emotions. But also, again, these emotions are hidden. There's this feeling of like, yeah, not seeing or hearing of you. The Lovers, which is which is funny, right? It's this for sale card. Oh no, look at this. The High Priestess and the Queen of Cups. I'm going to tell you, you might have even some sort of like a physical goal for yourself. Maybe it is to own your own home, or maybe it is to rent or lease your own loft or apartment or whatever it could be. But you're not supposed to achieve this or build it on finances. You're supposed to achieve it or build it with someone else here, but it's built on love. It's built on love. Man holding a heart. And maybe this is it, right? Interesting. Open up the fourth chakra. Maybe this is it. This is the fourth chakra. The fourth chakra. The 10 of Cups. Man holding a heart. And the 5 of Swords. There's some sort of, I want to say somebody's like, or you have some vision here of someone that you want to build with that you I don't know, it got cut out. The 5th chakra, or the underline is kind of why we're here. The 7 of Wands and the 3 of Pentacles. Somebody's been holding stuff off to build with you. I don't know, or you've been holding stuff off to build with someone. The 7 of Pentacles, the Moon, the Empress. The Empress, the Moon, and the 7 of Pentacles. This has that feeling of going like from summer to winter, right? The Empress is all this abundance and growth. And then the Moon is walking into the cold darkness. And then the 7 of Pentacles as well. We need a new plan here. We need a plan. So you've been doing that. Now, okay. That whole reading made a lot of sense. We got down at your advice. Because I feel like, honestly, the advice is something that you don't want to take. Take it or leave it. But the other thing I'll be honest about with you is, you know, when this kind of stuff comes up, it is so strongly, you're being so strongly guided by the universe here. And it's almost to say like your compass becomes strong because of the work that you've done internally here. And if you're saying, you know, universe, show me the way, show me the best way here. And the universe starts showing you the way, but there's still, like, you still got to shut off your brain. You can shut off a Gemini brain, but it is like, shut that off just a little bit here. Don't overthink it. You're meant to build something here with someone. Okay, so the L key deck, I'm going to pull out a card and see what's going on in you or externally that has caused, like, for the most part, everything that we see on the table here. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Oh! She who aches. Sadness, solitude, silent withdrawal. Yeah, because that's what it is. But I mean, I can see the work that's being done here. So it's honestly like the universe is saying, I mean, you're doing this heart chakra work. We're opening up your heart chakra. That's great because we utilize your heart chakra to bring this beautiful energy into the world. So you need to build that with someone and share it. The underline is she who loved once. Fragile, secret love, rejection. She who dreams. Escape, dreams, and fantasy. She who begins. Launch, actualize, and potential. And then she who nurtures. Empathy, gentleness, and insight. Yeah, this is really beautiful energy. It is too, I want to say, kind of, I would describe it as very gentle. This is the very gentle side of Gemini. I mean, if you've had a Gemini in your life, I got a couple. They can come off as very quick-tongued. They'll tell you just how it is. I mean, you'll kind of know how you stand with a Gemini. And some people take that as meaning that they're insensitive, completely insensitive. They're not. They actually, I feel like they tend to be quite soft and gooey inside. And I feel like the mind is a way to help to protect that from being hurt. But I'm seeing here like there is some sort of hurt, right? And then working on repairing the soft gooey side. So your brain is almost like a reflex here to don't let somebody hurt the soft gooey side. We're going to do the extended. This would be interesting because in the extended, I'm going to take all the cards that came out as underlined. They're all going back into the deck. I'm going to use the same, except a new tarot deck, but I'm going to use the Energy Oracle deck. I'm going to pull out the same spread, who you really are, the mask you hide behind, yada, 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 but in the future you. So I want to see how this kind of changes, like how you sort of develop and change in the future. So there you go, Gemini. Thank you so much, my friends. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.